Hello everyone, it's Gemma here, the Inspired Stamper. Thank you for joining me today. Today's project are these origami folded boxes. You can see I've got some here in a variety of sizes. So I've got a little tiny one, a more medium sized one, and a really big large one here. Now they're all made from a square of pattern paper. Obviously the size of the square changes with the size of the box. So this one started as 12 by 12 inches. This one was 9 by 9 inches, and this one is, the tiny one, is 6 by 6. Okay, today I'm going to show you how to do the large one because it's easier to show you the folding on camera. So to make the largest one, you'll need a piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper. I think I can just about get that in my camera, the whole piece. But there we go, it's 12 by 12. And then I have got, for the lid, I've got one piece of card that measures 4 by 4 inches, another piece of card that measures 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and then a piece of designer series paper to go on top, which is 3.25 inches by 3.25 inches. These we're going to pop out the way for a minute because we're going to do the main box first. And this is take 2. Because in the first one I started doing, children started arguing with each other really loudly just outside my craft room. So we've had to start again. But anyway, so I have got a piece of 12 by 12 inch paper. As I said, you can do it with different size ones. The folding is exactly the same for all of the boxes. You just obviously use a bigger or a smaller piece of card. Or paper, sorry. You don't want to use anything too thick. The designer series paper from Stampin'Up is probably about as thick as I would go. I wouldn't really use a speciality one. The little box here is the Golden Honey speciality one, and it was quite tough to get some of these bits folded because it's a bit thicker, because you'll see it's got the gold foil on here. So to try and make it a little easier for yourself, I would try to use a thinner patterned paper. So I want this design on the outside of my box. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to fold it in half. Like so. I'm just going to use my bone folder as I go to help with my creases, and then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to fold it in half again. Just line up those corners. Again, use my bone folder. Okay, so then you've got it folded with 4 sections. So then I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to fold it in half diagonally to make a big triangle. So point to point. Oh, hopefully I can get all this in on the screen. Things I don't want to go too far out, otherwise you might not be able to see. There we go. So I've got a big triangle, and then I'm going to open this back up again, and I'm going to turn it back over. So we've got our design that we want facing on the outside of the box underneath. Now you'll see it is sitting on my desk like this, and these two sides here are wanting to come upwards. So if you bring them together and you fold it inwards towards you, so the points are facing down, and then you can press down and fold it into a square. Okay, so now the rest of the folding we want to do with this open edge facing you. So this edge here, you want it facing you. Okay, what we need to do now is make a fold line diagonally from top to bottom. So to do this, I'm just going to lift up one of these sides, and I'm just going to fold it over and just give it a gentle push down. So when we open it back up again, you'll see now we've got a line down the middle, and we can use it as a guide to fold our sides in. So now I'm going to take this corner here and we're going to fold it into this line to meet there. So I'm going to take my point, I'm going to fold that over to meet the line in the middle. And then I'm going to fold this down as well, all the way down to make a point at this end. I'm going to use my bone folder just to help push that down as well. So that's one side. Now we want to do the same with this side here. We're going to bring this side over to meet. I'm just going to push that down there. So we're making like a bit of a kite shape. There we go. So that is one side folded. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over. Okay, and we're going to repeat those directions. So I'm just going to fold this edge over, open it back out. So now we've got a line that we can follow down the middle. And I'm going to take my corner here, my edge, and I'm going to fold that over to meet on that side. And it's easier when you're folding this side because you can use the opposite side as your guide. I'm just going to press that down. There we go. And then our last side here, again, I'm going to bring that over to meet up in the middle. I'm just going to use my fingers, just push that down into place, and then grab my bone folder and just reinforce that fold line there. Like so. So you are left with a kite shape, and it's the same on both sides. Now it doesn't matter with what side you start with next, but the next step is to lift one of these sides up, and then we're going to split that, and you're going to push down on the sides and at the point, and then this fold line that we've got here, we're going to line it up with our fold line here, and then we're going to push down and flatten that down. So now we're making a little kite on the side of our bigger kite. Here we go. You can use your bone folder again. Then we're going to do exactly the same on this side. So I'm going to open this out. I'm just going to pop my finger inside and then push these apart like so. There we go. And I'm going to push that down like that. So that's both sides now. So we've got two little kites on either side. Then we're going to turn it over, and we're going to repeat that again on this side. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to open it out, line up my fold lines, running down there, and I'm going to push down and make my kite shape on the side there. And then the last one, we're going to do the last one here, same thing. We're going to push it down, line up our fold lines, and push down. I'm going to use my bone folder again there. And that is all four of our little kites done. So we've got two this side and two on that side. So now our next step is to lift one of these up, and then I'm just going to fold that back on itself and tuck it under. So that's one, and then we're going to do the same on this one. We're going to take our edge, we're going to fold this back on itself and tuck it under. So we've got our kite shape returning. Then we're going to turn it over, and we're going to do exactly the same on this side. So I'm going to lift that up, fold it back on itself, tuck it under and push it down. And then our last one again, fold it underneath and then just give that a nice little crease down. So that is the final shape that you'll have. Okay, so our last bit of folding now is these points. We're going to bring these up to this end here, and we're going to fold along. So if I put my bone folder there, we're going to make a fold line here, just going across there. So we're going to fold up just one of our points, I'm going to push that down and use my bone folder just to come across. So we have one side folded up. Okay, then we're going to turn over and we're going to do the same on that side. So I'm going to fold up our point. Okay, so now we've got our two pieces here and here. So the easiest way to get to them is to open this side out. So we can do that side, like so. And then we can close that and then fold that side open and then fold down our last point. Okay, and then we can open that back out like so. So we've got this shape here. Looks kind of like a diamond or like a gemstone kind of shape. Okay, and then when you look at it from the top, you want that kind of shape at the top. So the two sides folded in like so. So now what we need to do is we need to open this out into a box. So if you're quite careful, just put your thumbs inside and start gently opening out and pushing the sides out of the box. Just go around. Be quite gentle when you do it because you don't want to rip it. You can just push your fingers in all the way around and just shape the bottom of the box. Like so. So if I turn that over, you'll go from a point to a flat bottomed box like so. And it's a bit wibbly wobbly, but we're going to stick down our points and that will give it a bit more strength. So I'm just going to run my bone folder underneath these points just to give it a little curl, and then I'm going to put some glue under each point. Oh, there we go, big splodge. There we go. So I'm just going to run these underneath, and then I'm just going to stick these down underneath. So I'm just going to push that down. Oh, you might need to hold it for a few seconds just so for the glue to grab. I mean, you could use some glue dots if you wanted to, or some tape, but you want to make sure it's pretty strong, so I think wet glue is best to stick this one down with. And there we go. God, that one doesn't really want to stick at all, does it? It's popping open. And then that final one there, hold that for a second. Oh, I've managed to glue myself to the box now, that's always handy. So if you can, get it down on the worktop on your desk. You can just hold it from inside for a second just to give them, so they're now stuck down. There we go. So now we want to make our lid for the box. So what I'll do is on my blog I will list the different sizes of lids and the different size card that you need to make them for the 3 different sizes. As I said, this one is 2 pieces of card. One is 4 inches by 4 inches and one is 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And then my piece of designer series paper on top is 3.25 by 3.25. So I'm going to start with the 4x4 inch piece of card, and we're just going to score this at 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. So it's super simple scoring, not too much to remember. Just 1/2 inch on all 4 sides, and that's the only bit of scoring we're going to do. So I'm going to fold and burnish my score lines like so, and then I'm going to take my scissors. I'm just going to cut up to the first score line. I'm going to take a little tiny wedge out of these little tabs as well. So I'm just going to do that side, and then I'm going to turn it around and do the same on this side. There we go. So that's what you're left with, and then I'm going to put some glue on the tabs, and we're just going to fold them under to make our little, like a little tray. That's going to form our lid. So then I'm just going to bring this underneath, like so. And that's all 4 sides of our little tray. So now what we want to do is I'm going to attach my piece of patterned paper to my other piece of cardstock. I'm just going to layer that on there. Trim off that little straggly bit. My blade's getting a bit dull. There we go. And now on the reverse side of that, I'm going to put glue on the bottom of the tray. I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to just stick that on to our piece of card, and hopefully leave a nice even border all the way around the outside of our box. There we go. So that is now our lid done. Wow, some skill with sticking there, and then that will just sit just inside and make our lid like so. So that is the box. So you can go ahead and decorate that however you like. You'll see I've used a poppy on here. I've die cut one of the bees from the honeybee set. So it's up to you whatever you want to do decoration wise with your box, or you could leave them plain, or if you don't want to put a lid on, you don't have to. You could make these and fill them with sweeties and put them on tables, or just on your desk full of sweets at the moment. It's always nice. So, but there you go, you've got the option of a lid as well. So as I said, all the measurements and everything will be on my blog, which will be linked in the description box below. Thank you for joining me again today. Stay safe, and I will see you all again really soon. Thanks, bye.